The devil. All right, it's time for today's face-off and the growing debate over the right way forward in Afghanistan.
And with his expected request for as many as 30,000 additional troops, American troops, that is, on the president's desk, we're hearing more about what General Stanley McChrystal is saying. The top U.S. commander in Afghanistan is telling the New York Times that he rejects the idea that his assessment of the war has created a divide among military and civilian leaders. In the quote, the general says, a policy debate is warranted. We should not have any ambiguities, I can't even get the word out, as a nation or a coalition. I apologize. At the end of the day, we're putting young people in harm's way. But listen to House Minority Leader John Boehner today. What he says, the president is second-guessing his own strategy.
Where is the president on this important issue? And all of this waiting and doubting does nothing more than arm the enemy with more information and more time in order to further destabilize the country of Afghanistan.
So the question is, would the president really consider denying a request for more troops and what it would mean for the mission and the politics here at home? Here to face off on the subject, Democratic strategist Keith Boykin, who served in the White House as a special assistant to President Bill Clinton. Also with us, Republican strategist Ron Bonjean. Thank you both for joining us. Keith, let me ask you, General McChrystal making it clear there is not a rift, but if you read between the tea leaves, there's certainly a divide between what some in the White House want and what those generals are requesting.
Well, the president is the commander-in-chief, and it's not John Boehner or anybody else. And the president is the one who will ultimately make that decision. The president, I don't think, has articulated a position that's any different, generally speaking, from what General McChrystal is saying. He's been very clear and consistent from the beginning that we need more troops in Afghanistan. He supported that from the beginning. I don't think that he's made a decision yet about what he will do in response to the report that was submitted first to the Defense Department before it goes to the president. So I think that there's some time here that we have to wait.
But Keith, has the president been that definitive? I mean, he has even said in recent interviews that it's time to look at the strategy. He's not said with certitude that it's time to put more troops on the ground there, other than the obviously first strategy that we saw when he announced that more troops were needed, at least at that immediate time.
Well, right. Well, that was also before the Afghan elections. I think what we see now is a president who's willing to be flexible in shifting his strategy. We had an inflexible president in President Bush before. I think this president has shown that he's going to be receptive to all the information that comes to him from on the ground and other sources. And I think the information that's coming to him now is telling him that he's going to have to think about what the strategy is going to be and how he's going to sell that not only to the American people, but to the Afghan people who don't want American troop presence to increase there.
Ron, it's been curious to hear the Republican reaction, because I have to tell you, I've read a ton of articles, and you're not hearing a lot about the Afghan election from some of the Republicans and how this should factor in. Why send more troops, may it be 10 in some estimates, or up to 40,000, if you have a government that allegedly stole this election?
Well, I got to tell you, it's pretty clear that the White House is way off message on Afghanistan. You know, they endorsed a strategy back in March to get rid of the Taliban and eradicate al-Qaeda. Now, General McChrystal is saying he needs more troops to do that.
But he said that before the Afghan election. So should that, I guess I'm asking, should that be factored into the conversation now?
No, I don't think it should. Regardless of the elections, we're supposed to be eradicating terrorism out of Afghanistan.
So if we don't have a reliable partner who is corrupt, if you have a leader who may be corrupt, that you don't have a reliable partner, you should send young men and women there?
I think what's going on here is the administration is kicking the can down the road because they're concerned about what the left wing is going to react if they send 30,000 troops into Afghanistan. That's the real question that's going on here. And what's very clear is you make a decision. Yes, do you put troops in, or no, you don't? And right now they're hesitating. When you hesitate, countries around the world watch that. They see how we process our decisions, and they decide to act. John Boehner is right. We need to move decisively and quickly, because that's what a superpower does.
Can I just say, though, that John Boehner is not the president. He's not the commander-in-chief.
That's absolutely true.
And it's not just the left who are concerned about this. The American people don't support the idea of increasing the troop presence in Afghanistan.
Are
let me just finish my point. So it's going to be a hard sell if there will be a troop increase. But, you know, let's be realistic about what we're trying to do here. This report from McChrystal just came on his desk on August 30th. You know, and so there hasn't been a heck of a lot of time to process it, digest it, and analyze what to do next. Don't call it hesitation just because he's taking his time and deliberately trying to decide how to move forward.
Let's get General McChrystal up to the Hill and testify. Both John Boehner and Steny Hoyer agree with that. Let's hear what he has to say. And, you know, just today, the Joint Chiefs of Staff has come out, and General Petraeus has come out and endorsed this plan as well.
But, Ron, let me ask you this. I've got to ask you, then how long, if you put more troops on the ground, how long do they stay? What is success there? And I want a definition of success from you.
Absolutely. Success is when you beat the enemy, when you eradicate al-Qaeda and the Taliban from the face of Afghanistan so they can't harm the United States.
From the information that is out there, they are in Pakistan. So then how do you handle that issue?
If they're in Pakistan, what you definitely don't want to do is abandon Afghanistan. If you send troops into Pakistan and you leave Afghanistan all by itself, then you're creating a safe haven. Of course we should act
What was created under the Bush administration
possible.
there? What was created in Afghanistan in the many years that men and women have been there?
Vice President Biden is advocating sending troops into Pakistan and leaving Afghanistan all by itself. That doesn't make any sense to me.
That's not what he's saying, actually. You know, and I think that's a misrepresentation, obviously, of what's going on.
What's also disturbing to me is that we've just arrested a major terrorist plot happening in New York City, and some of that is rooted in Afghanistan. You know, this is a war on terror that the administration has abandoned.
Pakistan as well in the report.
These issues are all interconnected and interrelated. We all understand that.
Absolutely good. That is a good thing you know that.
Let's not politicize this. This is America's foreign policy. These are young men and women's lives at stake here.
Is doing.
No,
they are
that's not what they're doing. That's what you're doing.
Gentlemen, we're out of time, but this is why this is so important to debate, because as you both pointed out, there are young men and women.
Absolutely.
While we sit here behind our desks in the air condition of the studio, they are out there, and that's what's important, and that's why it's worth a debate of serious nature. Keith, Ron, thank you very much. I'm sorry to cut you off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tamron, I just have to point out, and I know we're short on time, but you made two really good, important points, that these Taliban members are actually coordinating a lot of these attacks in Afghanistan from a sanctuary in Pakistan.
Absolutely.
And the second thing, too, is how do you have a counterinsurgency program with a failed state when you don't have a partner to do that? You made two really good points that I think are worth bringing up. And you know what? We should have the general up on Capitol Hill to answer these questions from both members, because men and women's lives are at stake. And you know what, coming up, another good point, hardball with Chris Matthews.
Nora, Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick is going to explain his decision to name Paul Kirk. It's one with controversy, but Kirk will fill the seat of late Senator Ted Kennedy. It's going to be on Hardball. That's coming up next.
The Go Board. Information you need, freedom to get going. At a value that's simply refreshing. Courtyard. It's a new stay.
It looks like nothing else on the road right now, proclaims GQ magazine.
Did you see that?
The interior positively oozes class, raves car magazine. Slick and sensuous, boasts the Washington Times. The most striking VW in recent memory, declares...
Okay, I get it already.
I think we were in a car commercial.
Heard the saying, less is more? Well, at Allstate, more is actually less. The more policies you switch, the less you pay. Discounts for combining your car insurance with home insurance, motorcycle, ATV, boat, another car, motor scooter, motor home, snowmobile.
Protecting your heart includes watching your cholesterol. Now there's new Heart Health Advantage from Bayer. Its non-aspirin formula contains phytosterols, which may reduce the risk of heart disease by lowering bad cholesterol. New Heart Health Advantage from Bayer.
To master the great outdoors, the pros choose Husqvarna for exceptional power, performance, and precision. Now you too can master your great outdoors with professionally proven Husqvarna. Get a Husqvarna in your hands during Chainsaw Demo Days.
I am beautiful. On the inside. My inner workings, a work of art. A digestive tract that should be bronzed. And an immune system so stunning, my vet thinks I'm the 8th wonder of the world.
Introducing IAMS with prebiotics. Prebiotics work inside, clinically proven to promote strong defenses. Healthy inside, healthy outside.
Oh, hi, girls. Nice day, huh? I am an IAMS dog.
Learn more about prebiotics at IAMS.com.